Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Christ Church Cathedral. I was going to say a very, very warm welcome, but that line is getting really tired. Just not cutting it anymore. I'm Thomas Gonder. I'm the music director here at the Cathedral and the curator of this series. Gosh, I'm foggy today in this heat. We've got a really special program today. I've had the pleasure of working with Luke Knoftel on numerous occasions over the years. In fact, we first met in Toronto before I moved here. So it's always a treat to work with Luke. He messaged me towards the end of last week, and we were going to set up some rehearsal schedules and what have you. And he says, I have an idea. What do you think about this? So we have on board with this program, we've got Christina Thanismith with us today. If you haven't heard her before, you are in for a very big treat. And they will be alternating various pieces throughout the program. And so it'll keep you on your toes because you won't know who's singing next. But they will close out the concert with a marvelous duet. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone. I said I wasn't going to speak before the first piece, and yet I am. So, my name is Christina, and I just wanted to thank you all for being here. Luke and I have a program that we've put together, some of our favorite pieces, everywhere from English art song to opera's greatest hits to some musical theater. So, thank you for being here and enjoying and embracing the heat, and we look forward to giving you a recital this afternoon.
afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. For my first set, I will be singing 3 songs from A Shropshire Lad by George Butterworth. I'll be singing Loveliest of Trees, The Lads in Their Hundreds, and Look Not to My Eyes. This is a really beautiful set that contains some incredible imagery and also talks about the struggles of young men going off to war, unsure if they're able to return or what they're leaving behind. I really love this set, and I hope you enjoy it as well.
Lads in their hundreds to Ludlow come in for the fair. There's men from the barn and the forge and the mill and the fold. The lads for the girls and the lads for the liquor are there. And there with the rest are the lads that will never be old. There's chaps from the town in the field and the till in the cart, and many to count are the stalwart, and many the brave, and many the handsome of face, and the handsome of heart, and few that will carry their looks or their truth to the grave. I wish one could know them, I wish there were tokens to tell, the fortunate fellows that now you can never discern, and then one could talk with them friendly and wish them farewell, and watch them depart on their way, that they will not return. But now you may stare as you like, and there's nothing to scan, and brushing your elbows against that and not to be told, they carry back bright to the corner the mintage of man, the lads that will die in their glory and never be old. Look not in my eyes for fear, they mirror true the sight I see, and there you'll find your face too clear, and love it, and be lost like me. When the long night through must lie, spent in star-defeated sighs, but why should you, as well as I, perish? Gaze not in my eyes. A Grecian lad, as I hear tell, one that many loved in vain, looked into a forest well, and never looked away again. There when the turf in springtime flowers, with downward eye and gaze is sad, stands amid the glancing showers a John Quill, not a Grecian lad.
The next two pieces are from opera, and so they're both in Italian, so I just wanted to give you a bit of context as to what's going on. The first piece is Vedrai Carino from Mozart's Don Giovanni, so in Italian, as I just said. And in this piece, Zerlina, who is one of the peasant girls, it's her wedding day. And she's consoling her fiancé, Mazzetto, who got a little too jealous and got himself beaten up by Don Giovanni. And so she is telling him in this aria that if he behaves better, and if he's good, she will look after him, but no more fighting. And then the second piece is from Donizetti's L'Elisir d'Amore, or the Elixir of Love. In this aria, Adina, who is another village girl, she has had a brewing relationship with Nemorino, who's going off to war. And so in this aria, she holds the contract that will release him from his war responsibilities, and she does it out of love for him, even though neither of them, they're both too stubborn to tell each other they love each other. So because of this, by her giving over the contract, that is her action of saying, I love you and I don't want you to get hurt, even though I have to go be with another man. However, maybe not.
Toccami qua,
won't be singing anything that high. So that's all Christina. For this next set I'll be sticking with some English art songs. So the first two pieces I'll be singing are from Vaughan Williams' Songs of Travel. So the first piece is Bright is the Ring of Words, and then the second piece is The Roadside Fire. And then to round out this little group, I'm going to be singing Sea Fever by John Ireland. I actually have a special connection to this piece. I sang this piece for the first time when I was probably grade 10 in music festival, and I was the only person in the class at the time, so I got up and I sang the piece, and I was the only person in the class, so I placed first, so I thought I did pretty well. So then, after the class finished, I went and sat. I would always go sit beside my teacher, Mabel, and I'd always wait to hear what she would think of the piece. And so, I had my little first place thing, so I thought I did pretty good. And I sat beside her, and I looked at her, and I just kind of waited, and she looked at me, and she said, "What the hell was that?" So obviously she didn't think that was my best performance. But I like to think that she's listening today, and maybe she'll think this performance of it is a little bit better than what I did it all those years ago. So I hope you enjoy.
Bright is the ring of words when the right man rings them, fair the fall of songs when the singer sings them. Still they are carried and said on wings they are carried. After the singer is dead and the maker buried, lo, as the singer lies in the field of heather, songs of his fashion bring the swains together, and when the west is red with the sunset a lover lingers and sings, and the maid remembers. I will make you brooches and toys for your delight, of bird song at morning and stars shine at night. I will make a palace fit for you and me, of green days in forest and blue days at sea. My kitchen, and you shall keep your room, where wife blows the river and bride blows the broom, and you shall wash your linen and keep your body white in rainfall at morning and dewfall at night. And this shall be for music when no one else is near, the fine song for singing, the rare song to hear, that only I remember, that only you admire, of the broad road that stretches, and the roadside fire. must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky. And all I ask is a tall ship in a star to steer her by. And the wheels kick and the wind song and the white sail shaking, and a gray mist on the sea's face, and a gray dawn breaking. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the rising tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume, and the seagulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the wind's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream, when the long trick's over.
We're going to stay in the land of English song for a little bit longer. I started this afternoon's recital with 2 Amy Beach pieces, and now I'm going to continue with 2 Amy Beach pieces as well. For those of you that aren't familiar with Amy Beach, she is a female composer that we're finally starting to recognize a bit more. She was popular in the early 20th century. However, her husband at the time was convinced that the man should be the breadwinner of the household, and therefore all of her music was published under his name. That being said, any symphony fans in here, her Gaelic symphony is quite well known now, and she is just someone that I think deserves a bit more time on the stage these days. So these are 2 other pieces by Amy Beach.
The years at the spring, and the days at the morn.
So for my next two pieces, I'm going to be doing something slightly different. I'm actually going to be giving Thomas a little break at the piano. He had a good run. I'm going to be doing two traditional Newfoundland songs for you now. The reason I chose these today, I think also the other songs that I sang, the Vaughan Williams, the Ireland, and the Butterworth, these kind of English art songs, I find thematically and also like the poetry I find it's really similar to a lot of these traditional Newfoundland songs I've heard a lot and sung a lot growing up. So I thought it would be nice to tie everything together and kind of show how these traditional songs have just as much of a place in kind of the classical canon as some of these other pieces. So I'll be singing A Grey Foggy Day and then Saltwater Joys. So I hope you enjoy.
Like the old folks would say.
So we're coming to the end of the program. Thank you so much for sticking around in this heat. It's a lot. The next piece of the final two pieces is one that might be familiar to some of you, and if it is, please feel free to sing along. I'm very excited to sing Till There Was You this afternoon, mostly because when I was in grade 12, which was a long time ago, I sang Marianne, this character, in The Music Man for my grade 12 musical. And I will say, there's someone in the audience today who was also there 9 years ago, who hasn't heard me sing since, and that's my aunt, Tina. And so this is a little special, a little bit of a full circle moment. A lot has happened in the last 9 years. She and my mom were in the audience in 2015, and they are here today as well. So this is The Music Man, Till There Was You. And again, please sing along. Oh. And then we'll be finishing, sorry, I got carried away, with a duet from Mozart's Le Nozze di Figaro. It is the opening duet at the opera between Figaro and Susanna. It's their wedding day, and the two of them have a bit of a different idea and priorities, as you'll find out.
There were
fatto in per te.
Guarda un po',
Sì, mio cuore,
guarda un po',
cuore più bello.
ora sì che io son contenta,
Sì,
ora
mio
sì che
cuore,
io
cuore
son
più bello.
contenta,
Sembra fatto in per te. Per te. Al mattino alle nozze vicino, quanto è dolce il tuo tenero sposo, questo bel cappellino vezzoso, e Susanna la stessa si fe, e Susanna la stessa si fe, Susanna,
Susanna,
è lei stessa,
è la stessa,
e Susanna è lei stessa si fe, stessa si fe, stessa si fe, e Susanna è la stessa si fe. Wish